Okay, so good day everyone and welcome to my second video on argumentative essay writing. So today I'm looking at some quick points to remember. So these points I'll be giving you here are essential to like a checklist that you'll want to make sure you cover when you are writing these essays. Alright? So last time in my first video we just looked at a brief introduction as to what an argument is. What is the nature of argumentative writing. Today we are going to look at some details, more specific. We're going to see what it is you have to get done in order to have a good argument. So the first thing I want to look at is this point, which is do not use first person when writing an argument. Your tone must be objective. So stay away from phrases such as I believe, it is my opinion, and other such phrases. Instead, you must state your claims directly. So for today's lesson, we're going to look at the controversial topic of abortion, and the statement that you are given is abortion should be legalized, because we all know in a lot of Caribbean territories, abortion is illegal. So, although you are sharing your position on a controversial topic, your essay must sound factual and not opinionated, because an argument is based on facts. Okay? An argument is not based on opinions. So to remove that subjectivity and remain more objective, we must state our claims in a certain way, which is direct. So, for example, abortion is a very dangerous practice in a society where it is considered a criminal offense. Right? That is correct because it's very direct. However, what is wrong is if you say, I believe that abortion can be a very dangerous practice in a society where it is considered a criminal offense. By putting I believe, you change the tone of that statement and you make it less factual. You make it sound like an opinion. And as I said in my first lesson, argument writing is geared to make the reader believe that what you are saying is true. Okay? So second, you must pay close attention to your thesis statement. After choosing your position, you must have 3 points to back up your position. So if your position is for abortion should be legalized, that's what you're saying, then you have your 3 reasons, and each one of these reasons will have their own paragraph, right? So for purposes of today's lesson, we'll be looking at the reasons for, okay? So if you were to adopt the stance that abortion should be legalized, this is how your points should look. Number 1, illegal abortions are done in secrecy and can result in casualty. Number 2, many unwanted pregnancies result in abandonment of children. Number 3, women should have control over their bodies and be left to make their own choices. As I said, each one of these reasons, which are called arguments, will be featured in a paragraph of their own. Put this concisely together in one thesis statement. So usually the last line in your introduction should be your thesis statement, and it should read something like this. Abortion should be legalized in my country. Due to the many casualties of illegal abortions, the rate of abandonment of unwanted babies, and the need for women to have autonomy over their bodies. The word autonomy here means the ability to make a choice for oneself without coercion, without being forced. So in this case, without someone having to feel the pressure from society and the stigma attached to abortion. You don't want them to have to make choices based on that. You want it to be legal so that people can make a clear choice whether they want it or not for what other people think about it. Number 3, use statistics to back up your argument. State the sources of your statistics. Now, statistics can be used in your paragraphs to help prove your points, and as I said in the last lesson, look for statistics, right? According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 pregnancies ends in abortion. This statistic, as flat as it may seem by itself, when you use it in the context of this argument, you are showing that if the World Health Organization says that 1 in 4 pregnancies ends in abortion, then clearly abortion is rampant worldwide, if that's the average. Okay? If abortion is that rampant, then it would be obvious that it should be legal because the amount of illegal abortions taking place is monumental. Okay? So the above statistic can be used to prove that the point that although abortion may be illegal in your country, The statistics show worldwide that abortion is a reality faced by many. So you want to get statistics on all these different topics, trending topics, okay? Number 4, use general facts to help your argument. Some statements are not statistics and do not need to be cited. These facts can also help. So you really want to put forward any factual information, and what makes something factual is that it can be checked, it can be proven. A fact is a statement that can be proven. So a well-known drug known as cytotec or misoprostol is used to conduct unsafe but cheap abortions. This is a fact. If you go to a drugstore, you'll be able to find the drug cytotec. Its general name is misoprostol. Okay? Now, you don't have to say which pharmacy you have to go in. You don't have to say who told you about this drug. This is a well-known fact, and anyone who wants to know about this drug can find information on this drug. So that's a fact. These drugs are used by young women, many young women, who do not know who to turn to when they are faced with the choice of having to abort. So now what I am doing here is I am linking the fact that cytotec is a cheap drug used for abortions to the fact that young women will use this drug because they have no one to turn to, because the stigma attached to abortion is high and it is illegal. If it is illegal, they want to find a quick over-the-counter method of abortion. This can lead to fatal repercussions for the individual and many times can result in damage to the reproductive system, lessening the chance of pregnancy in the future. So now what we have here is we're linking the fact that the drug exists to the fact that there are a lot of young people who use the drug to the fact that this drug will cause negative repercussions. Okay? It could cause fatal repercussions in some cases because they might use it in the wrong way, because they don't have anyone to advise them properly, because they're afraid to ask anyone for help. The above example can be used in a paragraph to illustrate the casualties of illegal abortions. Number 5. Use counter-arguments when necessary to solidify your stance. In argumentative writing, it is important to mention the points which oppose yours so that the reader can see the strength in your points. If there are any strong counter-arguments concerning the issue you are writing about, be sure to mention them, but only do so in order to refute, which means to deny, those claims. Okay? So many times there's another side, right? When you look at debates, for those of you who may look at debates, in the debating process there are two sides, right? And they debate one topic, and everything that this side says, the other side has something to refute or to say against that, and they go back and forth, and you call it the rebuttal. Okay? And my point here is that you cannot make a strong argument for something if there are monumental counter arguments that you do not mention, because then you will seem as if you are speaking in a vacuum and you don't know what are the other viewpoints available, and therefore you look as if you are uninformed and you want to seem that you are informed, right? So here's an example of how you can look at a counter argument using the topic of abortion. It is said that the act of abortion is immoral and does not show respect for life. Many religious organizations do not support abortion because it is seen as ungodly. However, an individual's rights should not be subject to the limitations of a religious belief system. Everyone has their personal freedoms, and the freedom to believe a religion and its tenets should not impose on a woman's right to decide freely. So here what I am saying is that we understand that there's an argument that abortion is killing and that it is murder, right? But they use this in under the banner of morality, and many times the morality comes under the banner of religion. And the reality is that not everyone believes the same religion. Not everyone is religious, and even so, a religious belief system and moral compass, a person's moral compass, one person's moral compass cannot infringe on another person's rights. Okay, so as much as life is important and life is sacred, right? We cannot say that a person's freedom of choice should be limited because of another person's view on what is moral. Okay? So that is how human rights works, and that is what I'm trying to say there. This counter argument above can be used to show the opposing views to women having autonomy over their bodies, because many people for some reason don't think women should have the freedom of choice to do what they want with their bodies for whatever reason. Number 6, reiterate your thesis in your conclusion. So this is the last thing, and it's very important, right? You had a thesis statement that you saw before, and you're going to reiterate it. You're going to state it again, but you don't want to state it in the same exact way. So you might want to just change some of the words, right? Abortion must be legalized in order to lessen the amount of casualties which occur due to illegal abortion practices, reduce the rate of abandonment of babies, and furthermore, give women the right to choose what happens to their own bodies. So I changed the wording a little bit there, right? In nations where it has been legalized, these issues decrease, causing less strain on society to pick up the pieces after risky and uninformed decisions have been made. If abortion is not legalized, these problems will continue to plague our society. And again, we are seeing red lines under certain words because they want us to use the American spelling, but we in the Caribbean use the English spelling. The English spelling, right? So, those are the major 6 points. I'm going to just state them again. Reiterate your thesis in your conclusion. Use counter arguments where necessary to solidify your stance. Use general facts to help your argument. Use statistics to back up your argument. State the sources of your statistics. Pay close attention to your thesis statement. And lastly, do not use first person when writing an argument. So the first person perspective, that narrative's perspective, do not use it. Your tone must be objective. So overall, you want to get your statistics on the same topics I talked about so far, and topics like, drugs, legalization of marijuana, which is a hot one, LGBTQ rights, which is another hot topic, health, because right now we are going through this whole issue of the coronavirus and all the different things dealing with health, and public policies on health and so on, the healthcare system. You want to look at websites such as the WHO, UNICEF, UN. You want to look at sites like Worldometer and general news sites that have information, encyclopedias, Wikipedia, and so on, because Wikipedia is an open source website that has a lot of peer-reviewed information that is very important. You want to look at these websites and get your knowledge on these topics widened. Okay, so with that being said, students, this is the end of my second video. Be sure to let me know what you thought about it in the comments and any kind of suggestions you have for my future videos, and I hope you all found this lesson helpful, and I wish you all a good day and all the best in your studies.